Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're well. It's on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com and our regular look. At this time it's not an information vlog, it's not a drama review, it's a movie review of a film that's due out on the 20th of July 2020. And it's called The Assistant. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, that'd be great. Tell your friends about these little review vlogs and information vlogs, etc. It'd be fantastic if you can, the more the merrier. And please make sure your notifications are set to public, otherwise you'll miss out on these things. So please check that as well. Right, The Assistant, a drama, 87 minutes, although actually, as probably when I was watching it, it seemed to finish quite quickly, so you can knock about 14 minutes off that. So you've literally got on-screen time of about 73 minutes. Some of you might be happy about that, some of you might not, but more on that in a moment. Yeah, it's a restricted rating in the US and a 15 rating here in the UK, and it's out to buy on Monday the 20th of July here in the UK and online for £10.99. Excuse me, just a piece of bread. I need a drink and I haven't got a drink. Never mind. Please forgive me. Yeah, it's written, directed, produced and edited by a lady called Kitty Green, and it stars Julia Garner. My apologies, Julia. Matthew McFadden, Mackenzie Lee, Christine Froseth and Noah Robbins. And it's an unusual film. It takes place just over an office day, if you like, probably between the hours of 8:30 and a little bit later at night. I think she does a bit of overtime, this lady. Yeah, so all the action takes course in one day, and it follows Jane, a junior assistant, working for a film production company in New York. There are similarities with the storyline to people's comment on the Weinstein thing. Obviously there are links to that within this, and I think it was promoted as such when it first appeared. Is it any good? Well, this is the interesting thing, isn't it? Rotten Tomatoes, 201 critics reviews there, 97% positivity rating. So 97% of that 201 people scored it 6 or more. Good score, and it averages overall 7.58 out of 10, which isn't bad. They have what's called a verified audience on Rotten Tomatoes. There is a little audience score, and that, yeah, listen to this, is only 25%. So you got from 97% and just over 7.5 out of 10 from the critics to the viewers, giving it as low as 25%, and that's based on 206, and the average is 2.04 out of 10. So not very good. So you've got the big difference between the critics and the actual Joe public, you and me, as far as Rotten Tomatoes are concerned. I mean, the actual consensus in Rotten Tomatoes, this is the critics' consensus, is led by powerhouse performances from Julia Garner, a withering critique of workplace harassment and systematic oppression. So quite a deep storyline, really, quite serious, very serious. You say I try and watch a film for entertainment values, but again, I'll give you my impressions in a while. Internet Movie Database, again, the critics, 79%, positivity. So that's scores anywhere between 4 out of 10, which is the lowest, and 9.1 out of 10. So it does really, really well. That's based on 43 critics, not just a few critics. And you get comments such as low key, a bit dull, Julia Garner makes it interesting, clinical, powerful, cultural statement in cinematic form. So yeah, I mean, again, you're getting the odd negative, but mainly positive. Internet Movie Database, now that's a Joe, like Rotten Tomatoes audience, that's the audience on Internet Movie Database. That's Joe public, you and me. That's just 6 out of 10 it's getting, so that's not a bad score. That's a watchable rating. That's based on over 5,849 reviews, but there's a lot of comments that are not favourable, and there's odd ones that are pro. So I've sort of evened them up, but there are actually more cons and pros on this, but I've obviously tried to even the comments up as much as I can. The positives: great, subtle, beautifully done. Garner deserves praise. Powerful, great study. The quietness screams, captivating, challenging, but some of many cons, as I said, which were in the majority. Not a compelling story, slow, indulgent filmmaking. The trailer is the movie, so in other words, watch the trailer and you'll see that the movie is in the trailer itself. A waste of time, a boring day in a boring life. Movie clickbait. Don't bother. Yeah, I think this was sort of sold as a thriller. I think the word thriller comes into the various advertisements for this. So I think people are annoyed by that because it isn't a thriller by any means. It's not a thriller. It's definitely a drama. It's a gritty drama. You know, without not gritty in the way of on-screen effectiveness, the visual. It's all mental. It's all psychological. So it's in that way. And a couple of comments. I'm just going to finish with here that I'm going to touch upon in my little review. The most cinematic and well shot, boring movie I've seen. So that was one of the reviews. Very appropriate, that one. And another one, the most unexciting yet totally engaging film I've ever seen. So you can see that on the basis of that, and I would have to agree with those two sentiments. Actually, I can understand all the critique, bad and good. Personally, I sort of quite like this, but from a point of view of the viewer, I would not recommend it one bit, to be honest with you. I just wouldn't recommend it. If you look at some of the critics, I mean, Garner deserves praise. I mean, the only reason I kept watching this was Julia Garner. She's fantastic in this. I mean, I just love this bit. It plays a great role, and I just want to reach out to that screen and stick up for her. You know, I just get the urge to, you know, as a father figure, and I don't like the way she's treated. Obviously, I've been self-employed a lot of my life. I recently got back out to work, and obviously in our workplace it's a bit more genial than this. But obviously, does this still happen? It obviously does. I mean, but it is a little bit scary because it is showing you things that perhaps do happen these days, and it's shocking what does happen. As I say, I just want to reach out and give people a shake and really punish people who are actually involved in the nastier side of this sort of thing. I say it's a modern day film, so I have to think that this does go on still in offices to this day. Yeah, it's obvious echoes of Weinstein, obviously, and but on a personal level, I think it needs to be explored. Does this film do it? It probably does in a way, but as I say, it will turn a lot of people off. I mean, it says here the quietness screams. Yeah, it's so well shot, and Julia so well does it. Everything so well. It is superbly, and the quiet, as you say, the sort of, you can hear conversation in the background while Julia, as the assistant, is doing some various bits and bobs, and it just adds to the quality of the film. Slow, yeah, but I mean, it's as I said, it's literally about 73 minutes playtime. So when it finished, I was a bit, you know, oh, is that it? I mean, it's only a few minutes longer than a normal episode of a TV series. You know, it's so slow. I wouldn't say it was slow. I thought it is slow, but as in, it has to be slow. It's a day in an office. So, I mean, we're not talking the American office or the British office or Secretary here, are we? Which is another film, obviously. I thought it may be like Secretary when I first started watching it. Little was I to know, because I hadn't read anything about this at all. A boring day in a boring life. Well, perhaps that is life. I mean, that is, like, as I say, on an entertainment point of view. Yeah, perhaps it is too close to home. But yeah, it is a boring day in a boring life, because that's what most of us have to do. We have to make up for it, and we put up with things, don't we? You know, we obviously don't have to put up with what this poor young lady put up with, but that's what it is. That's what it's a film about, basically. So if you want to watch it, that's what it is. It's a boring day in a boring life. And I think if you look at the last two comments, the most cinematic and well shot boring movie I've seen, I'd have to echo that. The most exciting yet totally engaging film I've ever seen, I'd have to echo all that as well, because I couldn't stop watching it, and I was a little bit disappointed when it ended, because it ended very, very quickly. But as I said, I couldn't say to you, yeah, go out and watch it, you can't miss this. You just can't with this sort of film. It's very personal taste, and hopefully I'll give you a clue as to, you know, what sort of film it is, and hopefully whether you will want to watch it or not. Yeah, so it's a sad, I've sort of summed up here, a sad, lonely film that does affect you, but is it entertainment? In a way, it's entertainment, yeah. I've certainly not 73 minutes of my life I've thought was wasted. It is entertainment. It's something different as well, isn't it? So don't be fooled by this sort of thing. It's not heartily recommended. I'm not going to say go out and watch this. I'm going to give it a rating. My little movie game nostalgia rating is 7 out of 10, which is pretty good for me. You know, I'm quite mean with the scores. But, you know, I can understand people giving it 2, 3, 4 out of 10. But as I say, if you want something, just something quite modern, a story about everyday life, which, yes, is boring. And if you want to just reach out and feel sorry for this young lady, Julia Garner, fantastic. I like watching anything that she's in. She just, I like her presence on the screen. If you can invest in a character, then that's part of enjoying a film, isn't it? And I certainly did enjoy it. Just a quickie before we go, the posters. I quite like the poster. You know, I'm into my posters. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with that poster. So I'll give the movie 7 out of 10. What would I give the poster? I'm going to give the poster more, actually. I'm going to give the poster 7.5 out of 10. I think it's quite effective. And it's got Julia on it, hasn't it? And obviously the characters in the background, etc. I'm not too worried about all the 4 stars and stars on it things, but I mean, that's probably adds to the poster, anyway. But yeah, just is a little bit different this week. I might start just make a little comment on the poster as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please check all my little links. Let me know what you think of the assistant, really, because as I say, if you do watch it, I've not put you off, and as I say, I don't want to put you off, but do be warned, you could hate this, or you could think, yeah, what a great film. It's so real, so real to life, you know. Yeah, so please check all my links, and if you're more into Facebook than Twitter, please just look for Bernard Deneen on Facebook, and our sort of will friend you back as well on there. Right, that's the movie review of The Assistant, available to buy from the 20th of July, I'm going back in time, 20th of July 2020, $10.99 on DVD. I don't have any Blu-ray prices, etc. on that at the moment. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to do the rest of the day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. Let's all look after each other. And please join me again for another little information vlog or a movie or TV drama review very, very soon. Bernard saying goodbye for now. Thanks for watching.